Okay. The queen of reality TV has touched down in the Queen City. Nene Leakes is in the building.
Thank you so much.
If there was a clapping sound. Can I get a clapping sound for Nene?
Thank you.
Okay, Nene, first and foremost, I'm going to be honest. When I saw that Nene Leakes was doing a comedy show, I was like, oh, she's hosting it. I wonder who's headlining and who's going to do the comedy. And I realized you're the comedian in the show. Why did you pick Charlotte? You could have went anywhere. I love Charlotte.
I don't really consider myself a comedian.
Okay.
So I like to say that I'm a funny lady.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be just standing on stage shooting off jokes.
Okay.
Like, that's just not what we're doing. It's a one-woman show. I've been on stage. I've been on Broadway twice. I've done stage for a very long time. I've done television forever. And so what I'm going to be basically doing is just telling stories, and we'll laugh along the way. So basically that's what it is, and I'm a funny lady.
Yes.
So I don't really like to say comedian, because I just feel like that's like putting a real strong label on me that I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so I just want to be able to just be funny and tell my stories. So I hope everybody come out.
What made you pick Charlotte? Because this is the first stop on your tour. We are so glad you picked us, but what made you choose
You know, I have no idea. Everybody keeps asking me that. I didn't pick Charlotte. Actually, my team did.
Okay.
My agents over at ICM in Los Angeles, they called me up and they were just like, your first state is going to be, you know, North Carolina, Charlotte. And I was like, really? Because I got a lot of people asking me, did you choose it because of Peter and all that kind of stuff? But that wasn't it at all. I had no idea when they sent me my first city it was going to be Charlotte.
And you, Peter, I saw you're hosting something tonight with him.
I am. After, I have 2 shows tonight. They're both sold out. But I don't know, you might can come to the door and work something out. But as far as I know, they're both sold out. The first show's at 7, the next one's at 9:45. Right after that, we are headed to Sports One Bar and Lounge, which is Peter Thomas's spot. I just didn't feel like I could come to Charlotte and not show some love to Peter, because we've worked together for so long. So I'm going to be there. We're having like a little after party gathering, and we'll do photo ops and all that kind of stuff at Peter's place.
And I've interviewed Peter. I interviewed him. I got the exclusive after the incident with one of his bar patrons. He talked down with me, real cool guy. With everything that happened with the Housewives and everything on the blogs, you know how the blogs are with him and Cynthia. Was there any kind of like maybe hesitation doing the event with him, or was it like, this is my friend, whatever's going on there is there?
No, I'm friends with both Peter and Cynthia. And I know when breakups are hard to do. I mean, I've broken up before, but I feel like it's unfair when you have to choose between which one you're going to be friends with. I just spoke to Cynthia before I got here. We talk every morning just about.
And she's cool with it.
Absolutely. She's been supporting it. She's posted on her social media. You know, they're not broken up. I just like to say this is just a hard time for them right now. So they're not like together. He's here and she's there, but they haven't officially filed for divorce or separation.
Believe the blogs.
They haven't done any of that kind of stuff. They're just like having a hard time. So, so I'm supporting both. My husband's friends with Peter. So it's kind of like unfair for him to not be friends with Cynthia. So Greg and I just had a dinner with Cynthia the other night, and so.
Gotcha.
We're supporting. I got to support Peter. That's just crazy.
Well, I know it's going to be crazy tonight at Sports One, but mainly, let's get back to the comedy show. Your first show sold out, and they had to add the second show at 9:45.
Yes,
were you surprised?
Like, oh no, I was not happy about that. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, because this was supposed to be like I'm testing and getting all the kinks out, and all of a sudden it sold out. So my team called me up and they were like, we think we should add a second show. You can get even more practice.
And what
in.
did you say?
I was like, no, I'm gonna think about that. I don't want to get more practice in. I mean, I just thought we were gonna do one show and go. And they were like, no, just do the second show. We think it'll be a good thing. So here I am doing a second show. I've been pushed into this, everybody, okay? So here I am doing a second show and had no idea that that's what I was gonna be doing. But it was amazing that both of them sold out like that. I'm so excited about it. I need to come to Charlotte more often.
You do? Why haven't you? What's going on?
I don't know, and I don't even live that far from here.
4 hours.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, actually, it was 3 for me.
Was Greg driving fast?
No, we live right on 85. We live right off of the highway. So yeah.
All right, now let's talk about one of the big hot button issues in Charlotte right now. I know House Bill 2 with the LGBT community being your major supporter, a lot of fans. Were you kind of anyone reach out to you and say, why are you coming to North Carolina? A lot of Bruce Springsteen pulled out. So what was your thoughts on that?
I got a lot of people on social media asking me, are you coming to North Carolina? Why would you go to North Carolina? You know, after the law that was passed and everything. And at first I didn't know. When I started seeing a lot of it on my social media, I was like, okay, what law passed? What are they trying to tell me to do? Then I saw Charles Barkley come out and was against it and saying we should move to All-Star. And I was like, I need to really look and see what this is. So, you know, I didn't feel any kind of way. After I heard about it, I feel like it's unfortunate in a way. But, I mean, I love my gays, and I think they love me, and I think they're going to still be here to support me. I have so many of them saying I'm sitting front and center tonight. So we're just going full speed ahead. I mean, we couldn't pull out.
Right.
It's just, we just couldn't pull out because we have so
here.
many people that we have to come here and support, you know, so. I'm here. I can't pull out.
Speaking of, you're doing the RuPaul on.
Yes, on lip sync. So I did lip sync battle. Oh my God, I have to tell you about lip sync.
I saw the red dress.
Oh my gosh,
like,
lip sync battle is like amazing. Right. Okay, it's
besides
on Spike TV.
Cool J being there. Sorry,
and Chrissy. Right. Chrissy and LL are like so good.
Right.
You have to see all the production that's backstage.
Right.
Like them getting you ready with hair and makeup and all of that stuff. It's like amazing. So I chose to honor RuPaul. You better work.
Yes, and you worked it.
Yes.
Red dress.
Yes, girl. I could not handle all that. Right. My lashes were so big I could barely see. I mean, I was a real drag queen. Those heels, I had to take the heels off.
You were walking kind of.
Oh my God, they were hurting like crazy. The heel on the back of I don't know how they do it.
Right.
I need to be, trust me, I'm not a drag queen, honey, but a lot of them like to call me a drag queen.
Is that what made you pick this song? And
yes,
okay.
I said it on my social media. I said, so many of you guys call me a drag queen. I think it's an honor. So, in honor of you guys calling me a drag queen, I am going to go full drag on you guys.
What was harder, that or Dancing with the Stars?
Oh my God, Dancing with the Stars is hard.
Okay.
It's hard, but it's so rewarding. I loved it. It was a great experience. I had such a great time at Dancing with the Stars. I was just there a week ago supporting Kim Fields.
Okay.
So I went and sat in the audience. I love everybody at Dancing with the Stars. They love me, and I love them too. So it's such a great show.
Okay, you said Kim Fields. So I've got to ask the question. On the reunion show for the Housewives of Atlanta, Andy Cohen asked you about Kim Fields, and you said that you did not think she was a good fit for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do you regret saying that?
No. I don't.
Okay.
I don't regret saying it, and you know, Kim and I are cool. I think she understands it. What I was saying is, I don't think that she's a great fit for the show because Kim was, you know, you guys don't get to see everything that we see and deal with because we deal with the behind the scenes stuff. I felt like Kim was just not. She was just not in it. Most of the time, she wasn't in it. A lot of the times, you know, she would, you know, break rules that we didn't break, like leave the set early and we would still be there shooting. We're like, okay, so she gone? Okay. Is that a new rule?
Was it her wanting to portray like a positive image? Because she was, you know, the mom, the worker, you know, she wanted to give kind of the more Christianly image. Was it that or was it more her just?
I think that Kim was, I just think that she never thought in a million years she would land in reality television, and I feel like that is what was playing in her head a lot.
Like she's there with Kenya Moore, but then dissing Kenya Moore.
How did I get here?
Right.
Like, why am I here?
Right.
How did I get here?
Life,
yeah, to me, I felt like she was like pushed to come to the show, but Kim, I like Kim, and that's why I was able to be there to support her, and we talked. We both are actresses. I like Kim, but I just felt like reality TV wasn't her thing, so she didn't work with those girls. And besides, I must say, our show is about a lot of conflict.
Yes, it is.
And it's about having an opinion and speaking up, and a lot of times she didn't, you know, she didn't want to
fight back, or she wouldn't fight for herself.
Yeah.
So the end on the
That's right.
Her personality on the reunion show was totally different from the whole season of the show. All the blogs, everyone said that.
Yes, she stepped up. I think because. A lot of people were saying you got to step up, like you got to say something, you got to do something here.
When she cursed, I said, whoa.
And then our show, we've heard her curse a lot of times.
Oh, okay, behind the scenes.
I think y'all just didn't get to hear it, child. But all of us, we have big personalities, and you know, we don't usually shy away from conflict. And so that was really hard, especially when somebody's pulling out your chair. We're not saying fight, because we don't want to be a show that fights.
Right.
But we feel like when somebody is doing that to you or bullying you, you have to say something to them more than, okay, I'm gonna walk away. You're like, okay, look, I am gonna walk away, but first you're gonna get this read, girl.
You gotta read. And for those of you that don't know, a read is when you let somebody know about themselves.
Right. I'm gonna have to give it to you before I walk away, okay? And then I'm gonna walk away, girl.
Speaking of reading, my least favorite character, who I'm told I look like, so you can set this record straight, I'm told all the time I look like Kenya Moore. I've had waitresses come up to me and say, you know who you look like? You look like Kenya Moore. I hope you don't act like her. I hope you don't have her personality.
Well, I would say that I see why they say that. But, and then two, I would say Kenya's a lot browner than you are.
Yeah, she is.
She's a lot browner than you are. And her hair is like this. like how you wear your hair.
Right.
And, but Kenya is a very different character now.
Yes,
She's
she is.
very special. She's different than anybody. She's different than anybody we've ever had on the show. So I believe that's why she did. And I think Kenya is okay with, I think she's okay with being Kenya.
I'm gonna be honest.
Kenya's really like this, like in real life. She's really like a loner. She's really like, to me, she doesn't, you know, she doesn't talk to a lot of girls. I think it's like, it's with her working with women is just a very different thing for her because she doesn't really work with women.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought last season when Marlo, you still friends with Marlo?
No.
She's my least favorite.
Well, she's not my friend.
She's my least favorite character. I'm just gonna be honest. But I kind of felt like the Kenya Marlo bond after the reunion show last season, I wouldn't see Kenya again because if you cross Nene, usually you get fired.
Well,
Sheree was gone, Kim was gone. Can I get a witness? So I'm always like,
that is not
Nene
true.
is the EP over there.
No.
Andy and Nene.
People think I'm really the EP. I feel like Andy be putting it on.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well.
I'm just throwing out some names.
Well,
so I thought Kenya was going to be gone after last season.
I would have to say that I've been there since day one, so I have seniority. It's not like I say anything to the producers. I just feel like they feel like I'm more valuable to the show than some of the new people that come in. So I'm definitely not an executive producer. Oh my God, if I was, the whole show would be recast, okay?
Who would you put on the show? That was one of my questions.
I would just start over, okay?
You would start from scratch?
Yeah, I probably would.
Who would you put on the show? Some real people from Georgia and Atlanta?
Yeah, I love people that have a connection to Georgia.
Right.
That's one. I love for you to have a connection to Georgia. Also, I would put more married people or people in relationships.
Give me two names.
I don't have anybody in mind that I would love for the show.
Okay.
I mean, we're running out of choices here at this point.
Because you would think Atlanta would be a lot of...
Yeah, but I must say we have a lot of athletes there. We have, you know, the NFL, the NBA,
politicians.
We have soccer. We have all of that. But they're the ones that don't want to be on the show.
Right, that's true.
And usually if their wife want to be on the show, the husband doesn't want to be on the show. If the husband want to be, the wife doesn't want to be. So it's always that kind of thing. And then if we find a couple that's great for the show, they're usually not exciting.
Makes sense.
You know, they may have a great life, but they're not exciting people. Like, we don't think you guys would be like interested in them.
Who, if this was an island, who would you boot off of the Real Housewives of Atlanta island? Who would you want to see go from this season? I could think of two people.
Oh my God.
You already said Kim was kind of boring for the show.
Well, Kim was kind of boring for the show. I don't want people to get it mixed up. I like Kim.
Right.
I really like Kim.
It's just not the
I just don't think, I don't think it's for her, but you know, my husband thinks differently. He says that he likes Kim for the show because she is different from the rest of us.
And that's what Kim said.
Is what he likes about her being on the show. And I agree that, you know, everybody's not wearing red bottoms, honey, and flipping wigs. So, you know, I guess Kim is different.
So who would you, if you could pick two
people
that you would say bye-bye?
This season. Let me see who's on our show this season. Because I wasn't even there.
Sheree, Portia, which was one of my
I like having Sheree back because she's an original, and I feel like the originals, we really kicked it off. So I feel like she, you know, we just bring a different kind of energy to the show. And besides, we've grown up over the years.
Yes.
I mean, we've been on the show, our kids were little.
Right.
When I first started, my son was in 3rd grade. Yeah, it was.
I remember season 1.
So we have definitely changed over the years and grown. So I think we work for the show. You know, I'm gonna just keep my thought to myself. Okay? How about that?
No.
Because you know I would be booting them all.
What about one?
Okay?
All of them gotta go.
Getting them all up out of here.
Portia with the 3 violent incidents.
What do you think about that?
I like Portia. I kind of like the I don't go to the strip club Portia.
Yeah.
I kind of like that Portia, but now the new Portia, I mean, she's a doll baby, but I mean, I don't know. The third fight, I mean, the first one with, you know, my twin, I understand. Kenya Moore, I get that.
Yeah, I feel like it's an isolated, so I get that too.
I get that. This incident with the leg and Cynthia, okay, but the last one, I don't know. In the alleyway.
The last one was
the
a
footage
different
of the
kind
fight
of
with
thing.
Jamie, the assistant.
Yeah, you know, I've always supported Portia and I've always been on her side. This last fight was just, it was a lot. Because and the advice that I was trying to give to her, and for all those people that's been asking, yes, I talked to Portia off camera. This was not her first time hearing me say those things. So all the controversy that's going on right now, I'm shocked like you are, because we've already had this conversation before.
Because it was made it look like you had.
They acted, I got a lot of people saying, like, as a friend, you should have pulled her to the side.
Right.
And I'm thinking, honey, she's been pulled to the side, okay? We've had conversations on our own about her doing this kind of stuff. And so obviously when you're doing a reunion show, we are there to talk about everything that happened on the show during the season.
Right.
So it's not like we're there and we're supposed to avoid conversations. We're there to talk about what happened and how can we fix things, how can we move on, who's gonna stay on the show, who's not gonna stay on the show.
You still won't tell us.
Yeah, I don't even know who's staying on the show, honestly.
You don't, okay.
But I will have to say that that last fight just seemed like something just isn't right. So we were there. Obviously, you guys didn't get to see everything.
Right, and I know she's doing anger management, as Phaedra says, her new best friend.
Oh, really?
According to her new best friend.
Okay.
The shade, I love it. So hopefully the anger management will help her, but I don't know if, she'll be eventually booted off the show because of that. I mean, I don't know how that works.
I don't either. So, I'm not the EP.
You're right.
Even though everybody
Cohen.
wanted me to be.
I'll be honest. I was surprised when you popped up back on the scene. When I was watching the first episodes, I said, Nene's gone for good. The blogs are right. Media takeout. Everyone's, Nene's gone. Nene's gone.
Yeah.
And then, boop, your favorite saying, I'm back. I have arrived.
Well.
Was it a warm reception, or were some of the? I felt like Kenya wanted to be the new queen.
No, it was not a warm reception. What they did not show on camera.
Okay, tell us the scoop.
So a lot of that was not seen either, which I think caused some issues with people watching the reunion. The people that did not welcome me the most was Portia and Phaedra.
Oh.
Yeah, and they actually edited that out, and I was like, people are looking at me side-eye, but they were the two that did not welcome me back.
And that's why you were reacting the way you were reacting.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because we were friends when I left the show. And so I was surprised that the two people that I was the closest to when I left the show were the two people that were acting as if they didn't want me to come back on the show. So, and we talk about that at the reunion, but they actually edited it out.
So they edited it out during the season and then again on the reunion show.
That's right. They had a serious reaction on their face when I walked in Jamaica, and they took that out. Okay, so I could look like the bad guy, but that's okay.
Because they thought you were gone.
Yeah, well, what happened was I thought I was gone too. You know, I wanted to have a break. I've been here since the beginning, not only just shooting the show, I shot the pilot for the show. And so I've been doing it a long time, nonstop. I really felt it was time for me to take a break. And I did take a break, and I enjoyed it. And obviously it wasn't just, I don't run the show, so it's not like I just said, hey, you guys, I'm on my way back.
So how did it happen? A lot of people want to know, how did it, because that's what I thought you did.
I
thought you texted Andy and said, Andy, I'll be back on Tuesday.
No, he said when I left that anytime I wanted to come back, I was welcome back at any time. And so that was good and refreshing to know that if you ever wanted your job back, because most people leave, they'd be like, oh, okay, bye. You won't be coming back. So
So they were filming and you decided, okay, I'm going to come back. It wasn't like you saw episodes.
No, we had phone calls. You know, I talked to the producers and the executives, and we all talked about it. We've been talking about it for a while. And, you know, then we just decided when was the right date for me to walk back into the show.
Well, everyone is happy you're back.
Thank you, but I don't know, I don't know if I'm doing season 9.
That was my next question.
Well, I don't know if anybody knows at this point. Once the reunion tapes and we're done, they kind of take off for like 30 days to, regroup the host. Everybody kind of goes away, the executives, and then they come back and decide. So nobody's reached out to any of us as far as I know. No one knows their position at this point.
Do you want to do it? Season 9.
I have to say that I will always be involved with Housewives in some capacity.
Okay.
Bravo helped launch my career. Excuse me, they helped launch my career. So I will always be loyal to them. Okay. And I will always be around playing with the Housewives.
All right, couple questions more. One of them from our anchor, Morgan Fogarty. If you could pick another Real Housewives cast to be on, which would it be? You've got Potomac, New York.
I would go to Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've been receptive to you in the past.
I know those girls. Yeah, and they need a brown girl over there with blonde hair.
You can join the blondes.
Yes, I could join the blondes. You know, a little brown girl with blonde hair. I fit right in.
Okay.
I like LA.
LA loves you, obviously.
Yeah, so I don't mind when they have great weather.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can do your acting?
And I can go play with those girls and snatch their wigs. That'll be so fun.
I can imagine.
Get Lisa Vanderpump together, okay?
Now, you mentioned about being the brown girl on that show. What about when you saw Potomac Mills? That was an interesting cast.
I didn't watch the show, but I did. I see the first episode, though.
Okay.
I watched the first episode, so I didn't follow the show throughout the season. I thought they were pretty girls, actually. And they were all saying they're black girls. They are. You know, they're mixed. A lot of them are mixed girls. I didn't really think anything of them, really.
Did anyone stand out as someone you said, I like this character or I don't like this character?
No, because I didn't follow the show.
That much, okay.
No, I just know that a couple of the girls, I thought they were pretty.
And that was about it.
Yeah.
So they're not giving Housewives of Atlanta a run for your money, because as far as ratings, I know
we
it's
are
not
number
even.
one. You know, we've been number one for a long time.
Of all the Housewives shows.
The Housewife
now that's interesting, because I had this conversation and we were like, maybe Beverly Hills or New York is. So you're number one.
We've always been number one.
Really?
Yeah. You guys have to look us up. I mean, Atlanta has been number one from the beginning.
Okay.
So we killed them in the ratings, and I think people like us because we are different. I think people feel like we're authentic. You know, we say it like it is. I think we are the cast that looks the less plastic.
Which I felt like the Potomac was like, you know, the African American female version of.
Yeah. Of that. They were a cross. Everybody like to say they were a cross between Atlanta and Beverly Hills. So, but I think that people like our show for that reason, just because we're really authentic.
All right, so no competition there between the brown girls on Potomac and the brown girls in Atlanta.
No, we might be fighting for, you know, weaves and extensions and blonde hair color.
That's about
it. No, but we all get along, though. I like all those girls at Beverly Hills. We know the girls from New York. So if I'm in New York, I can hang out with some of them. If I'm in, even when they had the Miami show, because we go to Miami a lot, I would hang out with the Miami Housewives. Beverly Hills, we hang out. So they come to our city, we hang out with them and stuff like that. I'm really cool with Teresa.
Okay.
Teresa and I are going to be doing a women's expo next month in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, together. So.
All right. Now I've got to ask you another big question. Donald Trump, you worked with him.
Yes.
On The Apprentice. You know, you were fired.
I was not. I quit.
You quit. That's right.
Yes. He couldn't fire me.
My highlight of all the Apprentice shows was when you were on there, LaToya Jackson.
Me and LaToya.
You and LaToya and Star Jones. It was like, you know, I'm a TV junkie. If you can't tell by now, I watch a lot of shows. But my Nene on, oh man, you and LaToya Jackson, we're going back and forth.
And me and LaToya is cool today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still cool today, but
what was it like with Donald Trump?
Working with Donald, because I get this question all the time about him. Before he started to run for office, like I don't really know who this person is. Some of him I do know. What I like to say is he was always very true to who he was, which is why I liked him working for him, which is why I could quit his show and he and I still be friends. He loved that I was just like, okay, I'm gonna quit. And he was like, no, you gotta come back. He was calling my room like, no, you have to come back. I was like, no, see you later. He was really like in shock. This girl is really like quitting my show. But he's always been very true to who he is. If I saw him out right now, he would always talk to me. Him running for office, I don't know exactly who he is, because he says a lot of things that I just didn't know that he would say or even felt, because I've always thought he was very real. So I'm not voting for Donald, however.
Would you vote for Donald Trump, your old boss? No.
Well, no, I will not be voting for Donald, okay? So I tell everybody that I'm not voting for Donald. But Donald is gaining a lot of momentum. He's done a lot better than I ever thought he was going to do.
Would he make a good president based on the short stint you had?
I can't say that. Not with all those things he'd be saying. Absolutely not. I mean, no, I don't think so.
If you had a chance to talk to him now, would you tell him that the stuff he's saying is offensive?
Yeah, I would say him, first of all, you're going to need to lay off the women. It's going to be one bald head. And then you're going to need to lay off of African Americans the way you have been. And also, he said a lot of things about
Mexicans?
Yes, Mexicans and all this. And he wanted to build a wall. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Who says all of that stuff?
Right.
And but you know what? He's good for TV, I must say, because I've heard everywhere I go, people are talking about Donald. Like people that don't even watch debates watch them because they cannot get over the things he's saying and doing and the faces that he makes. I love when people are talking and he's like,
is this the Donald face?
He is doing all kind of faces over there. But no, the Leaks household won't be on the Trump wagon.
All right. Okay, fill in the blank. Lightning round. All right. Kenya Moore is a
loner.
I think of something else. Okay. Peter Thomas and I
are cool.
Okay. In 15 years, I see myself.
Oh my God, in 15 years, I see myself, I would love to be producing, doing more with my production company, because I have my own production company, so I'd like to be producing more, that kind of stuff, behind the scenes. I would like to be making stars instead of being the star. How about that?
Well, sign me up.
Yeah, I would love to make stars. I think it's great. I like behind the scenes.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's next for Nene Leaks?
Oh my gosh, you know, my clothing line is doing really well, so that I'm working on that all the time. What am I doing? I keep forgetting. I have To Tell the Truth is coming out with Betty White.
Okay.
And Anthony Anderson. That's going to be on ABC.
Okay.
To Tell the Truth is an old show that we revamped. Oh my God, I do so many things. I forget sometimes myself what I have going on.
Okay.
But I have, what's next for me, I hope that I am doing more television, because I do love television, but I like to do more acting in the acting area. And maybe you'll see me guys back on season 9. I mean, I don't know.
All right, guys, you heard it here first.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Oh my God, because my husband's writing on the baby, so don't forget to say. I also have an app that's coming out that my husband's helped create, apps and emojis, Nemojis and things like that.
Because you have a lot of memes out there. I use it all the time, and I text my co-worker Morgan with them.
So those are going to be coming out real soon. We're working really hard. Well, my husband's working really hard with a partner on getting them all ready to go out into space. I think you guys are going to love them, because my memes are like awesome.
Yes, they are.
Oh my God. Bloop, my face is doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So they're going to be pretty cool.
So App Store, from Broadway to reality TV to Broadway to Glee to acting to movies.
Yeah.
What haven't you done? All right, Nene Leaks, thank you so much for joining us here at WCCB News. We are so happy to have you here and on the edge. Nene Leaks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nene.
Thank you so much. Thank you.